I got the perfect date night meal for you guys, man. Y'all having that special someone over. I call this the GTD Salmon Alfredo. You might be asking yourself, what does GTD stand for?
Claudine, GTD. What does GTD stand for? Does GTD stand for? Got
Yup.
the draws, okay? Mr. Payne. Yeah, he got the draws.
Check me out. We're starting off this recipe by getting the pot boiling with hot water, adding a little salt to it, and getting your pasta in there when it comes up to boil. I'm using linguine noodles. I would suggest using any long noodle, a spaghetti, a linguine, whatever you prefer. We're gonna let that cook while we get our salmon, our spinach, and our sauces ready. We're gonna do all this in one pan. So we start by seasoning our salmon. I'm using a combination of Slap Your Mama's Cajun seasoning. You can use whatever Cajun seasoning you want to blacken this salmon. So I use a little bit of Cajun seasoning, a little bit of Old Bay, a little bit of paprika, add some onion seasoning, some complete seasoning, a little bit of salt. Let's just pat that in there to get it incorporated into the salmon. So get your skillet nice and hot. I'm adding a little bit of olive oil to the pan. Get that pan nice and coated. Then we go in with our salmon. Face down, seasoned side down. Be careful not to move the salmon around too much. Now while that's cooking, we're going to check on our pasta. Now we're going to cook this pasta slightly undercooked. Check that out. Because we're going to add this to our Alfredo sauce once we make that, and let that cook down in the Alfredo sauce so it can absorb up some of that Alfredo sauce while it's cooking. So back to the salmon. So the salmon should be face down a good 3 to 5 minutes. And then we can check that and give that a turn. It's looking nice right there. So we're gonna turn over our salmon and let it cook for another 3 to 5 minutes. Now when that's cooking, I wanna just tap your salmon and see the firmness. Once your salmon gets firm to the touch, that's how you know your salmon is cooked. All right, with that same pan, we're gonna add in some spinach. Let this saute down, cook down for a little bit, probably about 2 to 3 minutes. Doesn't take too long for spinach to cook. You can add in a little bit of salt at this point. You just want to get that cooked down, mixing around with the tongs or your spatula, whatever you have on hand. Now we're going to add our roasted red peppers. You can add roasted red peppers. You can add sun-dried tomatoes, or you can just add cherry tomatoes, whatever your taste. Now once that's cooked down, we're going to set that to the side, and we're going to get some heavy cream on that stove in that same pot. I'm using the same pan, so all those flavors will combine into one. You'll taste all of that once the plate comes together. So as soon as the heavy cream comes up to a slight simmer, to a slight boil, we're going to add our Parmesan cheese. We're going to add some chicken bouillon, some onion powder. We're going to add a little bit of Cajun seasoning. Going in with our Parmesan cheese, a little bit of butter. We cut the fire off once we add the butter. That way the butter will incorporate a little bit better into the heavy cream Alfredo mixture. So we get that cooked down. Just mixing around the edges, make sure everything blends down together. So your sauce should look a little bit like this. Now at this point, I'm gonna add that pasta right into this mixture. And like I said before, this is a real simple, easy recipe that will definitely impress your guests. I'm telling you. So let's get that pasta in there, and we're gonna let that simmer around for probably like a minute or two, just so that pasta will absorb some of that Alfredo sauce. And get that mixed down with your tongs or your spatula, whatever you have on hand. And at this point, you can add a little bit of that pasta water too into this mixture. That way it won't be as thick, it'll loosen up a little bit. And it'll also help those noodles absorb some of that Alfredo sauce. All right, so we start plating up. We go pasta down first. A nice amount of pasta in there. Then we go in with our spinach and roasted red pepper mix right on top of the pasta. You can put this any way you want. I try to make it look fancy for the video here, but you put it any way you want right here. Then right on top of that, we're gonna lay our blackened salmon. And there you have it. Now you can go over this with a little bit of the Alfredo sauce from out the pan. You want a little bit, make it a little bit more saucy. But there it is. Our GTD blackened salmon Alfredo pasta. What y'all think? Man, I want to say I appreciate y'all again, man. Thanks for tuning in. This is Olu's Cuisine Experience, and this has been another experience for y'all, man. Thank y'all 100%, man. Love y'all. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow for more videos just like this one. Peace.